It's 31 days to the NFL draft. That's right, 3-1 Isaac Gorindo. And we are here because the 49ers still haven't paid Brock Purdy yet. And it sounds like they're not going to pay Brock Purdy anytime soon. Mike, I got a $60 million question for you. That laugh is perfect. Should the 49ers pay Brock Purdy or should they trade Brock Purdy? Mike, you ready to get to it?
You damn right.
Smash that like button. What's going on, everybody? It's your boys, your boy Wayne, Breezy, Mike Andrews, and the building. Back for another BAM show. I don't know if my sound effects work. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that's what I needed to hear Mike say, yep. Mike, man, happy Monday to you. It's BAM Monday. It's BAM.
Yeah.
It's a BAM Monday, man. It feels good. It feels good to be here, Mike.
It is. It's a BAM Monday, man. We back at the grind, man. Work weeks have started for a lot of us. Some people, I know you don't always work on Mondays first, but we out here. It's been a good day, a productive day, and hopefully the Niners have been productive as well with making some way in this contract, man. What about you though, man? How you doing, Wayne?
I'm good, man. I'm it's 31 days to the draft. I don't know if you know, but I really go. I've gone an extra hard body. I don't know if we still say that. I don't even know what the hell that means, but I know that means you grind, right? Like I'm going hard body on the draft, man. Like I think next year for the draft, I think I'm ready to put my own publication together. I'm going to look to see if I can get it published through some type of a publishing company, where I focus on maybe the top 50, 100 players, top 100 players. I love the 100, so I think next year I'm gonna try to focus more on that route. But I've been losing a lot of sleep trying to make sure I get my I's dotted, my T's crossed. So it's been a real good grind. And 31 days, it'll all come to fruition, man. We'll see what happens.
So you've been studying some guys. Like you think players pretty well?
I would say I know players pretty well. People may not feel like I do, but that's what I feel. And now I'm getting into studying players that aren't of the norm, right? So now I'm digging. Like you ever? I'm a record connoisseur, right? So I love music.
You in the crates?
Yeah, there you go. I knew you was gonna get the reference as soon as I. Matter of fact, you get the DJ. I knew you was gonna get that.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. You digging in the crates. No, because that means you're doing your work. You're digging deep. You know what I mean? And that's where the gems come from, right? That's where the George Kittles come from in the draft, right? That's where the Fred Warners come from and the Dre Greenlaws. Like that's where you find those guys. Like you got to dig in the crates to get those guys. Otherwise, they would be first round picks, right? You don't have to dig deep. Like that talent is there. You don't have to bring anything out of them. I want to ask you a question about two wide receivers.
Okay.
And I want your honest opinion on which one you think would be better for the 49ers.
Okay.
Tet Mack or Jaden Higgins?
That's a good question. I like Tet. Not gonna lie. But I don't understand why Higgins isn't pushed up further, up the board. So for me, I'm going with Higgins. I really like the Iowa State guys. Higgins, 6'4", can jump through a roof. So his verticals, his athleticism is a little bit more. He runs better routes. So I'm not sure why
he plays through more contact across the middle.
I mean, he can play lines up as the XY and he can play in the Z. So at the end of the day, I mean, Tet is going to be your X. But I think Jaden Higgins runs better routes. So I also like Jaden Higgins as a big slot. You know what I'm saying? So this kid can dominate at least 2 to 3 levels. And if you decided to, I wouldn't put a 6'4" guy in the backfield, but if you decided to move him around on the jet sweep, the kid runs a 4.4 something, right? It's a 4.4 guy.
Yeah.
So I like Higgins, and this is no disrespect to Tet, because Tet is going to be a first round pick 9 times out of 10. He's going to be a first round pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if Higgins starts climbing up the charts. I don't know what he can do to do that though, because it's Tet, it's Matthew Golden, it's Luther Burden the third, and I think he's starting to drop a little bit, just from some of the off the field stuff I've been reading. So it's going to be interesting.
I know I know we have our draft show coming up on Wednesday and everything, but some people may have been tuning in today expecting a draft, but that's not today. So I just want to put that out there. I think that Jaden Higgins is quickly becoming my favorite wide receiver in this entire draft class.
And that's funny because for me, it's Jalen Noel because he's faster.
Okay.
And he runs better routes, but the athleticism isn't as the same. So, like, does Brock Purdy prefer? And it seems like Brock Purdy prefers the taller receivers. Now, if you could get just think of this, like Jaden Higgins would be. I have a few guys in this draft that I feel like are better versions of Juwan Jennings. When I say better, though, I don't mean by dog. I just mean speed. So if you can get faster on the X, that's better, right? Mm-hmm. But they also can catch. Like,
because Juwan Jennings can catch, and Juwan Jennings runs really good routes. He just don't have the separation.
That's the difference. And to me, Noel has better separation than Higgins.
Okay.
So I love Jalen Noel, but he's ranked lower. That's weird.
You know what team Purdy would be perfect for? Remember that year the Panthers? Remember that the year the Panthers had all those wide receivers for Cam? Every single one of them was like 6'3" or taller. They had two tight ends. They had two wide receivers. I can't remember none of their names right now, but everybody was just 6'3" or taller. Like imagine what Purdy would look like on a roster where those were his target guys.
I just think that Purdy's ball placement is good, but
it's great.
Because the offensive line isn't built to block for a long time, like Purdy has to rush some of his throws.
He doesn't get to show it off,
Right. And so like his ball placement is gonna be a little bit behind. It's gonna be a little bit high. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's really low, right? It's really high or behind. So I think for me, I would like to see Purdy work on, throwing on the move, like getting his accuracy while he's running. I think that would help. Also, like, if he gets those taller guys, that was one of Deebo Samuel's biggest weaknesses, right? Just didn't have the reach, didn't have the arm length or the wingspan to go up and grab some of those higher balls or whatever like that. And then, he dropped passes that were literally right to him. And so, look, you get a guy like Juwan Jennings. So just imagine having another Juwan Jennings, though, with speed. Like, just imagine that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and there's some raw guys that in this draft, like Deontay Thornton, from Tennessee. He's 6'6" and runs a 4.3, right? But he has, he's workable, right? You might be able to get him in the 5th round if you want to go big wide receiver. So we'll see what happens, man. There's a lot of stuff. All right, man, let's get to this Brock Purdy. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew, man. I see you guys out there. I posted some of your comments. I did want to address this. He's not a member, but he says something, and I did this on purpose. So shout out to Bo White, because Bo says, what does max mean for NFL? That's an NBA term. And you're 100% correct. And I did that on purpose. So if you don't know, I like to, Mike, you know me, I like to play around with words and get people intrigued by words and seeing if they're really paying attention to certain things. And when you think of max, you think of NBA, you think of super max, if they draft a player, they can sign him to the most money, blah, 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 blah. So in this light, Mike, when I say max, what do you think I'm thinking of? I was just curious to know. And shout out to Bo for this, man. Become a member of the channel, man. I appreciate you.
That means that he's paying attention to the headline, and your headline did his job. So that, first of all, applause to you. Well done. No, I'm dead ass. Like that's great. That is fantastic right there by you. So good for you. I think what you mean by max is $60 million.
Okay, so all right. I just wanted to make sure we on the same page, because we got to get to that number, which the rumors of Brock Purdy are out. The reports are out. The rumors are out that, Brock Purdy's camp is looking to get Dak Prescott's type of numbers, right? So, Mike, we have to talk about this. We've been doing this. I feel like we've been doing our due diligence. It goes underrated for some reason, but we've talked about this many moons ago, once the offseason kicked in, once the Niners were out. We have had discussions about Brock Purdy and this $60 million number. Now, I'm not saying that those reports are correct or are the truth or anything like that, but Mike, why, if you're Brock's agent, why wouldn't you want him to get $60 million?
I mean, if I'm his agent, why would I want him to get $60
Why
million?
wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you want him to get it? Like, isn't that what you want?
Absolutely, right? Like, because first of all, I get paid a percentage of this bad boy, so I want him to get 80 if we're gonna keep it a buck, right? Like, hey, look, I'm walking in there like, hey, look at what Dak Prescott did, and I'm pulling up the wins, the losses. I'm pulling up the stats, the interception, touchdown, interception ratios. I'm looking at postseason production, and I'm then putting up my man's, and I'm like, look at what Brock's done, and he's only been here for 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, are y'all really going to sit here and try to tell us that he's not better than that guy?
Right.
So based off of that, it should be 65, 70, 75, 80. Like, I mean, where should the numbers stop? If I'm the agent, I definitely want more than what Dak Prescott got. Now, I understand that y'all going to sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, the size, and he's got an all-star cast and all that. Whoa, because Dak Prescott has CeeDee Lamb. He had, I can't think of nobody else that was good on that team right now. But
I mean, yeah, like
he has some weapons. Didn't he have Cooper over there?
He did have Cooper. They did trade Amari Cooper. They did. Yep.
So I mean, I could try to make an argument. They had a running back until they got rid of him 2 years ago too. What was the running back? It was after Zeke. It was a dude that people liked. He ended up going to
Pollard, Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard. Yeah, they had Pollard. He was getting some work in over there, you know. But I'm going to sit there and try to say, look, he's had good wide receivers also. He had a good tight end also over there. So, you know, you can't sit there and compare that and say that it's not my guy, you know. Dak's working with what he's got, and he has a better offensive line than what you would give my guy. Look what my guy is producing behind your terrible offensive line. I say you pay him the bag. If I'm the agent, that's what my argument is.
And so, like, for me, it's like I get it. Like, and Brock, once the freaking extension window opened for Brock Purdy, like, we knew that it was going to come down to, it wasn't going to be peachy and creamy. Brock made it sound like he wanted to get this done, blah, 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 all that good stuff, quick and early, fast in a hurry. But he knew that the Niners, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that they were going to take their time, but you knew that the San Francisco 49ers, if that initial offer, that rumor that came out was the $45 million, you knew, like, right, Mike? I knew Brock wasn't going to sign for a $45 million deal. I think we want him to, but I wasn't expecting him to. Right?
I don't know why people keep saying that. Like, why would Brock Purdy sign a new contract and be paid? What that would put him, what, ninth?
Yeah, let me pull this up. So I think what we forget, and I'm glad that we're revisiting this, right? Because right now there's some rumors going on. There's some trade stuff out there. Brock Purdy. We're gonna talk about all that. Trust me.
There we go.
My joint spot rack not working, so I'm gonna have to pull up over the cap. So it's cool.
I got spot rack right here.
All right, so your spot rack's all right. So here's over the cap. So let's focus on the APY. I think that's what we need to focus on, right? Because that's where Dak is coming into question, right? And
that's
so
where the $60 million number comes from. Yeah.
That's where the $60 million. Now the way that contract is broken down is pretty cool because the base salary is like $1 million for the first year, like 1 point something million the second year, and then the big money is gonna kick in obviously this year, next year, whatever, right? So when you look at this list, read the top 10 quarterbacks, bro.
Their names or their salaries or combination.
Combination.
So you got Dak Prescott $60 million. Joe Burrow, $55 million. Jordan Love, $55 million. Trevor Lawrence, $55 million. Tua Tagovailoa, $53.1 million. Jared Goff, $53 million. Justin Herbert, $52.5 million. Lamar Jackson, $52 million. And Jalen Hurts, $51 million. Kyler Murray rounds off the top 10 at $46.1.
Okay, so on this list, my question to you, Mike, right? My question to you. Where does Brock Purdy belong on this list? Like,
well, so 1, 2, 3, 4 of these guys have never even made the playoffs.
Okay,
5.
so that's why I'm asking. That's why we're having this conversation, because I'm trying to show people like why this contract negotiation is probably going to get messy.
So Tua's never made the playoffs. Herbert's never made the playoffs.
Trevor Lawrence never even sniffed. No, I think he's made the playoffs.
Never made the playoffs.
I think the Jaguars never made the playoffs with Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think so.
Let's just say he did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, let's say he did. Jordan Love did.
Kyler Murray. Did Kyler Murray make the playoffs?
Maybe early. No. I don't think so.
I don't think so. So
Let's
I think
look it up.
That's
Why do you think?
So I got Kyler Murray not making the playoffs. They said Herbert made the playoffs last season. Okay, my apologies. Tua, Lawrence, like that's 4 guys. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro.
So Kyler Murray did make the playoffs.
Okay.
No, his passer rating in the playoffs was a 40.9. He was ass. He 137 yards, 2 interceptions in his one game in the playoffs in his career. You should have asked me because I'm
playoffs too.
I'm gonna look it up. So Kyler Murray was trash.
Yeah, and they said Lawrence won a playoff game. Cool.
That's what I thought.
Cool.
I thought Lawrence made the playoffs. That's what I thought. Okay.
Then you look at everybody else. Hurts.
How much does that factor of the playoffs though factor in the money though? Like how much of that do you factor in to making the big bucks? Does that
25%? 25% to me.
Oh, I should have asked you the percentage of how you would ask for money. That's what I should have asked you. Right. But I'm glad I'm getting this 25%. My bad. Go ahead.
Are we a playoff team with you under center? 25%. The answer is yes. Boom. 25%. Okay, cool. Are we? I actually have a tweet. It's funny. It's funny you say that. Now I got to find the tweet and share it with you now. And so
Herbert didn't win the playoff, but he played in the playoff game.
They said that they played Jacksonville, and Jacksonville beat them.
And that's where Trevor Lawrence won. Correct.
2 scrub quarterbacks. I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
I like Justin Herbert. I don't think he's a scrub.
You can say that. I understand you saying that, but they don't win games, man. They don't win games. We can sit here and say we like them all they want. They don't win games. Now, is winning games the end all be all? Maybe not, but they still don't do it. And we have a quarterback here who does. So again, I'm looking at this from the position of the agent only. I just sent you the link there, and I put 5 things in here that would qualify for Brock Purdy making the max and getting market share. Do you see it, or do you want me to present it? I can click it and present it if you want.
Where'd you send it to?
Private
right
chat.
Here. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know if it was easier for you to do it or if you want me to do it. But I put 5 things in here.
All right.
So it's one thing to get to the playoffs, right? But I don't think anybody believes that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win a Super Bowl with Trevor Lawrence. I don't think anybody believes that Tua is going to win a Super Bowl with the Dolphins, right? So these are the 5 things that I have here. 1, are we a playoff team? And it's funny, that's exactly where we started. The answer is yes. 2, can we win it all with him in the game? I'm talking about, can we win the Super Bowl? So, Wayne, do you think we can win the Super Bowl with Brock under center?
Of course.
Okay. Are we a better team with him, or are we worse?
We're a better team with him.
Okay. Is he the best option available?
Yes.
And the last question is he the guy for the next 4 years? Now,
Yes.
Don't answer that yet. Oh, well then, okay. Okay. Well, then there you go. There you go. Because number 5 is the one that I would get caught up on.
Why?
Number 5 is the one that I would get caught up on because there's a lot of rookies that are going to be coming out.
I don't care about those rookies. You can't worry about those rookies. You have a guy that's proven that he can do. Did you slide over? You have a guy that's proven that he can win, right? You have a guy that's proven he can win with a I would say a pretty decent roster. All right. So he lost last year because the whole damn offense was injured and the defense was ass. Right? Most of the teams that make it to the playoffs rely on their defense, and their offense is pretty sustainable throughout the playoff run, right? Even if we made it to the playoffs, Mike, we should have been on that first plane out of the first round, unless it was pure luck. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Right. If it was some Trevor Lawrence versus the
right.
Chargers type ish, right?
Right. And so, I feel like Brock is the guy for the next 4 years. I think the question is, though, at what price? Like, you get what I'm saying? Because the next 4 years and that price will determine how this team is going to build themselves this year in the draft. And if we look at what the team has done already in free agency, we could say that this team didn't clear cap space for Brock all we want. But, Mike, They deliberately didn't re-sign certain guys. They freed themselves up to get 4 comp picks next year by not re-signing those guys. You can't tell me that's not the formula right there, because the Niners like drafting rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. Like, this is what they do. And on top of that, you're going to be able to clear cap space. Now, Brock Purdy's contract extension won't affect the Niners probably for 2 years as far as cap space, maybe even 3, depending on how they work it out. He'll get the bonus, he'll get the signing bonus, all that good stuff. He'll get his little guarantees. But as far as it affects,
get his 5.3 this year because it is an extension.
Because it is in bango, right? But the question is, if the number is coming in at 60, 50, 55 plus, that's where you have to have that conversation, because Josh Allen is only making $55 million. I think Allen effed it up. I told you, Mike, that the Niners. Mike, did I not say that the Niners needed to do this before Josh Allen got a contract extension? Did I not say that?
You did. And what's funny is that he was like, "Yeah, watch this." But see, like, this is his second contract. We keep forgetting and ignoring that part. He had money already. He was already getting 50.
It doesn't matter, but he's changing the game, because when you look at a Josh Allen status, a guy who hasn't.
Former MVP.
He got now.
He just won the MVP.
And you got to add that to the table. So if I'm paying an MVP.
Been to the AFC Championship.
Right? Lost. But if I'm paying an MVP, Brock's been to a Super Bowl.
Lost.
But that's further than the championship. And the only thing that's hurting Brock is that MVP. Josh Allen has screwed the Brock Purdy thing. I promise you.
Well, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, because now it's like, look at what the MVP took. You think you're that good? That's
right.
Now I'm talking from the position of the Niners.
Now,
see,
good.
The beginning it was the agent. Now it's the position of the Niners. Now it's like, all right, so what makes you worth that much? Because you're not Josh Allen. If Josh Allen was on this roster, we would have won the last 3 Super Bowls. That's what the Niners are saying to Brock Purdy's agent.
This is going to get ugly. I don't see this having a happy ending until the end. Like, literally, like where it's at the last minute, they finally come to a conclusion. Brock's going to make $54.9 million, but a high guarantee. Like, and when you go back to this list, that's going to be the question, right? Like, is Brock looking for APY, or is Brock looking for the most guarantees?
So what you're saying is we might see a report that say Brock Purdy comes in at like $48.9 million, but the guarantees are like 85%.
Can I go back to that screen where it showed? Because I think it had the guarantees on there.
Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Hold on. Now now you cooking.
Okay, so Dak Prescott at 60 per year of that never mind the per year, but Dak Prescott of the $240 million contract he signed is getting all over half of that guaranteed. Joe Burrow, over half of his $275 million guaranteed. That motherfucker don't care about the 55 per year. You're gonna get half of 270.
Can you click guaranteed and sort it or no?
But it's already. Oh no, I see what you're saying. I feel like on here you can't. Maybe because I'm not signed in. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
My apologies.
I felt like I just messed it up too.
Oh, you did something.
Yeah, you just.
Oh, guarantee percent.
I just messed it up.
Oh no. Okay. Put it to 50 and higher. Just slide it to 50. It'll show you only people making more than 50% guaranteed. It's giving you a range.
Yeah, I don't like this. And plus, I only wanted to focus on quarterbacks. I had it right.
Oh, it did everybody. What the heck?
It's just taking a little long time. All right. So we got to do higher than 50. Boom. No, because you know what? There's going to be guys that are signing.
Nickel and dime guys.
Yeah. I had it right. Let me just reset it.
All right. My
apologies. On that. All right, here we go.
All right, so here we go. How about this? While you looking that up, I can tell you who has the most guaranteed money in the NFL.
Oh, Deshaun Watson. That check is 100%.
Dak Prescott beat him.
No, well,
Dak Prescott got 231 guaranteed.
Oh.
Now Watson had 100%, but Prescott's dollar was more. Dak Prescott got 231 million guaranteed.
Wait, say that again?
Dak Prescott got $231 million guaranteed.
He only got $129 million guaranteed. What's 53% of 240?
All right? So that's 120 plus another 3% of the two.
Mike, just do 53.8%. Do 54% of 240, bro. It should come out to 129.
Yeah, but that's not right, because I'm looking at total guarantee for Dak Prescott and it says 231 right here.
But it's not 231 because he's only on a $240 million contract, so it can't be 231. That means they didn't guarantee him $9 million of that contract. That doesn't even make sense. He's only getting
53.8.
Yeah, so do 53.8 from the 240, which was the value of the contract. It's always going to be Deshaun Watson.
110. It says 110.8. There's no way he signed that.
But he signed it because look, he's getting that $60 million per year. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's the difference. Like, that's the key. He's getting the highest. Maybe you're talking about average per year. His average guarantee per year is high, but it's still not the highest. Deshaun Watson got the biggest contract of football history. Like, not as far as total value, but as far as the 100% guarantee. He got $230 million and he's getting all of it, Mike.
I think I see the difference. Okay. They are doing this based off of guaranteed at signing. That's what their total guarantee is on over the cap.
Okay.
Spot Rack is doing it as if like it's just the contract, how much is total guaranteed reported. Okay. That's the difference. Okay. My apologies. My bad, y'all. My bad.
That's cool.
I mixed it up a little bit there.
So, but I'm just trying to tell you how tricky this is going to get. All right, you know what, Mike? Bump this number track talk. Bump all this stuff. This dude, what's his name? Carson or whatever. Let's just listen to this clip. He put out this take about the 49ers. Now, I do. If y'all really, you know, if y'all really with us, Mike and I last draft show, we traded Brock Purdy.
And guess
y'all
who we
slayed
traded
us
to
the Giants, and y'all slayed us, and y'all got mad at us, and then all of a sudden here comes this take.
Aaron Rodgers to extend his career by playing for a bad organization. But I tell you what does make sense. The New York Giants offering the San Francisco 49ers 3 first-round draft picks for Brock Purdy and then Aaron Rodgers going to San Francisco to end his career where he grew up. That makes sense to me. The Steelers don't have a good enough draft, and they don't even have a second-round pick this year, so I don't think they can make that type of offer. But the New York Giants could.
You think it's a good idea to trade 3
yes, I
first-round
do.
picks
For Brock Purdy, yes.
for a guy who was the last pick in the draft?
He's no longer the last pick in the draft.
Only succeeded with Kyle Shanahan, and then immediately have to give him $100+ million guaranteed.
Because
I
they
hate the narrative, considering that, listen, the 49ers have 11 draft picks, right? They've done
Why I gotta be
now you're
stupid?
talking about sending Brock Purdy to the
He
Giants.
said who's only played with Kyle Shanahan. Is he supposed to bounce around the league and devalue that? Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Quarterback, draft really well, revamp and reopen the Super Bowl window. It does.
Look, but Mike, all right. So I'm gonna keep it a buck.
3 first-round picks is crazy.
I'm sorry, man.
We did it for one, bro.
Yo, if I could flip a 7 for 3 ones, bro, I would let you shoot me in my pinky toe. You feel me? You feel me? Pinky toe, bro.
Fam, he said 3 ones. He said 3 first-round picks. You know how fast Brock would have been going? Bro, I'd have been at the airport waiting. I'd have had the rose petals out like he was a king of Zamunda. Like, I'd have had a whole party waiting for him when he got out here to New York. Are you kidding me? To New Jersey.
To be here tonight. What a beautiful give yourself. It's so lovely. Everyone's so lovely. I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate.
You know I be ready, bro. You know I'm ready with
I'm
it.
glad you had that in the tuck so quick. That is crazy.
Once I heard King, I knew you was going to the Zamunda. There's no greater
Bro.
king other than Jesus. But listen, Mike, I was interested until he mentioned Aaron Rodgers, though. Like, we don't need to sign Aaron Rodgers. I'll take McCorkle over Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
I'm anti Rodgers as well. Let me be very clear.
At this point,
Aaron
I am.
Rodgers in the NFL. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for the good times. I remember what you did when it was
For
fun
sure.
to watch you. But bruh, this trip that he's on now, and I don't use that term loosely. This trip that he's on now, it's for the birds. I'm not interested. I've never seen a guy bench himself before, go to the sideline and tell the coach you probably want to get Wilson in there now. Like, who the fuck are you to sit here and tell us that? You're losing because you suck. Get back out there and finish the game.
Period.
So,
I'm over it. Listen. You entertained me this 4 or 5 years ago. I wanted to win the Super Bowl. I thought Aaron Rodgers still had a little gas in the tank. Right now, first of all, and I would have put up with the shenanigans. I would have put up with the dark caves. And, I dealt with Kyrie Irving in Boston, bro. I could live with Aaron Rodgers. Like, these are the guys that think that the world is flat. I'm cool with that. But now, nah.
That's the level of disrespect that comes along with Aaron Rodgers. This whole, like, bravado of I can pick where I go and who's on my team.
You guys are funny.
That's not going to fly
funny.
here.
I just want people to
Kyle
know that
Shanahan would put his fist in Rodgers' face
at
at
it'd
the
be
50-yard
fights.
line.
Bro.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, Kyle got him by, 4 or 5 years? It would be fights all day. And first of all, let me just be the first to say, I don't think Aaron Rodgers can fight. I think he's a tough guy. It's a difference between being a tough guy and a fighter. I think Aaron Rodgers would get knocked the freak out. And
what makes you think Aaron Rodgers is tough?
Because he plays football.
No. Okay. All right. I shouldn't even ask that, so I'll take it back.
No, you should have asked that. I don't mean tough as far as like a tough guy, like, the same. I mean, just, the dude, we watched Aaron Rodgers get beat up a lot like, in the NFL. This dude came back after tearing his ACL in less than a year. Like, he's pretty tough mentally. Maybe that's what I meant. Maybe he's tough mentally. But there's no way first of all, I would think Kyle Shanahan and Aaron Rodgers are too much alike. They're too much alike. They're the same brain. Like, they're both narcissistic. They both
control freaks.
Come on, man. Come on. So, like I said, I would have entertained this 4 or 5 years ago when Kyle was on the phone with Aaron and all that stuff. That would have been cool. But now, Aaron, I don't want to entertain it. But let's get back to those 3 first-round picks, bro, because that is enticing. I don't see the Giants doing that, but Aaron, I think Brock Purdy's better than any quarterback coming out in this draft.
You think Brock Purdy's better than Cam?
I think Brock Purdy is better than any and every quarterback coming out in this draft.
Okay. I'm not going to argue against it.
So if I'm the Giants, do I want Sanders or do I want Purdy? If I'm the Giants, do I want Cam?
The Giants don't like black quarterbacks anyway, so you can take that Sanders and Ward stuff off the list right now.
They signed Jameis Winston.
For a backup. They knew exactly what they were doing.
No, for a bridge. I would say bridge. He's going to be a bridge. Still a backup, but I think he's going to play, like, you know what I mean? And he black.
Okay.
But my point is, that ain't the end-all, be-all. So when people say, well, didn't they get a quarterback? They got Jameis Winston.
Right.
A guy that'll throw you 40 interceptions and 40 touchdowns in the same season, bro.
30 for 30, baby. That's what he do.
Yeah.
He's going to serve some W's on the sideline and lose that game.
I'm not even going to do it. That's nasty.
Yeah. But he's going to be happy when they go out there and, they play in the snow. Listen, man, here's the thing. The truth of the matter is 2 firsts would get it done for Brock Purdy. If the Niners got a phone call for 2 first-round picks for Brock Purdy right now, I think they pull that trigger. I think they do.
Even what if they get called for 1 first-round pick for Brock Purdy?
Honestly, I don't think they would do that. I don't.
Would you do that? Let's just be realistic here.
Yep. I didn't hesitate. Yep.
I got to know why. No, don't ask me yet. I don't know why you say yep.
Because I have number 3 and I have 11. I have the whole board
I know where you're going.
at my disposal.
I know where you're going.
I have my whole board at my disposal.
You could draft Cam Ward. Yeah.
I could trade up to 1. Give them 3 and 11, and then start moving backwards and have 2 or 3 first-round picks.
You
at that
control
point.
the draft. You would be controllable of the draft.
Yes.
Yeah. The board
Yeah.
too.
Yep. So I mean that's why I would do it. You can start preparing for 2026 in the draft if you want. And not for nothing, their moves this offseason don't give me the most confidence that they are looking to the playoffs this season.
I disagree with that slightly, but I understand your take on why their moves don't feel that way. I feel like the Niners are coming in with a very strong base, a sustainable base, I would say, and they signed depth. So let me just be clear on how I think they approached this offseason. They went and got depth pieces. They went and got younger at some of these positions. They went and got faster at some of these positions. The only position that they got older at was at the long snapper spot. But maybe they got stronger there. Who knows? I don't know. But that would be the oldest player.
I forgot about Jesus. They did sign Moses.
John Week? Yeah.
Yeah.
He called him Jesus and Moses at the same time. I'm with you, bro.
That's
they
how
grew
old
up together.
he is.
Yeah, I got
Methuselah.
you.
He Methuselah. I'm gonna find it. I know it's one of them old dudes in the Bible. It's Methuselah.
What my point is, though, I feel like they got wiser at certain positions. We're hoping it, but on the special teams, they got younger and faster, and they got guys with experience. I think one of the biggest issues with the 49ers on special teams, they had too many young guys that were inexperienced. There's a difference between being young and experienced and young and inexperienced. And when the Niners were flying off with injury after injury and those special team players had to be played starting roles, it was a wrap. I think that the Niners are fulfilling that special team vibe that can give you some type of rotation. I don't expect the Niners to draft 12 or 13 players in this draft and they all become starters this year. That's not what I'm expecting. They do have 11, though, but I don't expect all those guys to start. I think that they do look for guys that could come in and fulfill certain roles. And we got to take a look that the NFL draft is literally preparing guys to come in, especially if you get them early. They're preparing guys to come in and be impact players day one. That's why round 1, round 2, round 3 matters. These are guys that can impact your team. So
Absolutely.
If you offer me a first round pick for Brock Purdy, I would kind of be enticed to trade that and rock with the guy I signed. I think the most ceiling guy we got in the offseason was Mac Jones. I feel like the ceiling is still there. Like, you give him a good offensive coordinator, he plays well. If you go back to his rookie year, Josh McDaniel, offensive coordinator, played well. Mac Jones was having a rookie year. Like, oh, snap. Second year, he goes to he goes to Vegas, becomes the head coach, new coordinator. Mac Jones looks like trash, right? That was the difference. And so then he goes to Jacksonville, and he's the backup. He becomes the backup. He didn't know that. And now he comes to San Francisco, and he's the backup. But my point is, why do I feel like Kyle, a good coordinator, can win with Mac Jones? I would take the first round pick because I'm flipping a 7-1. Like, this is a flip game, bro.
Smack it up, flip it, rub it
down.
Oh
no! I know
Over,
people not
man.
gonna like that, but it's a first round pick. You can't, and it's not even a first round pick. You know what it is? It's the number 3 pick.
Yes.
It's not just like it's pick
It's
25.
Not just a first round. It's not
Yes.
just 15. We're not in the
Yes.
middle of the pack or nothing
Yes.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, bro, that's number 3 overall. Huh?
But let me just be
Number
clear.
3
I don't want Brock Purdy gone because I want us to sign him. I feel like I said earlier on the show, if you just tuned in, I said this is a guy you can win the next 4 years with. You can possibly get 2 or 3 championships out of this.
Okay, so let's say you're right. What if I told you that the Niners could keep Brock Purdy, not pay him the max, and still win those 2 Super Bowls in the next 4 years?
I'm with it.
All we gotta do is keep him, let him play, tag him, and tag him.
Okay,
It's
so now
cheaper.
you want to take this to that
It's
route.
it's-
All right, give me
because then it's cheaper.
Let's go 5 minutes into that. I don't feel Brock is going to do that. Like
He don't have a choice.
He
See, now, so
he does
why we
have a
gotta-
choice.
Why do we have? Why?
He okay. Hear me out.
Now
He
we gonna
doesn't
cater
have
to
a
these
choice.
guys 'cause
You're talking about he doesn't have a choice because he's under contract. But that's not how it worked, Mike. We say that every time a player's under contract. They don't have a choice, but they do. And every year they hold out. Every year it causes
Tell
the
me
team
what quarterback held out.
from the Niners. I can't.
Don't tell me Le'Veon Bell.
He wasn't a quarterback, number one.
I know.
But I'm just saying, guys, hold out. Like, I feel like quarterback positions
Fair.
potentially won't do that because teams need them. But Mike, if the Niners didn't sign Mac Jones in free agency, I would feel more confident. But now that the Niners signed Mac Jones in free agency, Brock can probably hold out and force the Niners to do something.
You think signing Mac Jones
It's
hurts
something.
the Niners? That was leverage. That was the
no. I
leverage
didn't
play.
say that it hurt. That's why I said I don't think it hurts the Niners. It's gonna allow Brock to just be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna hold out. He's
And
not
the Niners
missing
gonna
nothing.
be like, okay, cool. We're gonna play this former first round pick then.
And that's what I'm saying. So Brock doesn't have to play this year if he don't want to. He don't make the 5.3 or whatever. I don't know how that works because I don't know what's guaranteed. Might be fully guaranteed. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think the Niners' chances are better winning with Brock Purdy.
We could do this. Pull up his contract and see what's guaranteed this year. Here's what I do know, and he won't get the tag this year. But right now, the
Niners control all of that, Mike. So I do agree with that. The Niners control Brock for the next 3 years, this year and 2 years with the tag.
Right. So 5 years this year. Then next year it'll be
4 years
41
this year.
change.
Right? He's going into his 4th year.
Yeah. So this 4th year option here is 5.2. Next year it's going to be $42 million for the tag, and the year after that it might go up to 43. Well, it's going to hit that bump because you tag him for 2 years in a row, so it might go up all the way to 50.
So right now, Brock Purdy, I'm looking at his contract. 5.365 is what the cap hit is. That's the cash on the contract. So that's what he's set to make this year, and I'll pull it up. I think that's it. I think Brock is on the books for 5.365252.
Right. So he gets the 5 this year.
That's
right?
it. That's the end. Then they can tag him next year.
Next year's tag is only going to be like $42 million. This year
Right.
is 40.2.
That works for the Niners. Again, this all works for the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you get that increase when you double up on the tag. That's the number that I don't know for sure. But but here's what I do know. That's 3 years, maximum of $90 million.
I don't want the 49ers and Brock Purdy. I don't want the Kirk Cousins route. I'm not feeling that.
I'm not telling you to go to Kirk Cousins route.
That is the Kirk Cousins route. What are you talking about? That's exactly the Kirk Cousins route, Mike.
Here's the difference with the Kirk Cousins route.
Okay, I'm listening.
You said you think that they can win 2 Super Bowls in 4 years.
I'm sure
3 years. He should have one of them by then. And then the Niners say, okay, you know what? Yeah, now we can go ahead and do it.
Yeah, but still, like Kirk Cousins, I'm sure the Redskins, Commanders, General, whatever the hell their name was, felt the same exact way. I'm talking about before Kirk Cousins got the guaranteed money from Minnesota. If you go back to that Kirk Cousins,
it was
they chose that motherfucker over RG3, and they believed that they could win with him, right? And he took him to the playoffs, right? Let's just keep it a buck. It's the same thing. When it came time for him, what did they do? Oh, they tagged him. Not once, but twice. He got the tag twice. And then when it came down to working out the deal for him, he ended up getting the deal in Minnesota. Now, I don't want Brock Purdy. I feel like Brock, I don't want to go that route with the quarterback. I feel like that's messy, and that causes more controversial stuff to happen. We'll be talking about this, and it just sucks. Like, if this is, listen, I'm from the 49ers, Mike, and this is my guy. And I'm not saying you overpay for Brock. I'm not saying the $60 million is the number. But the argument is he better than Dak Prescott?
Yes.
That's a $60 million number.
So?
That's the market.
Is Josh Allen better than Dak Prescott?
Yes.
That's a $55 million number.
So now we're talking 55, 60, bro. So that's a $5 million difference that they got to figure out because everybody else is obsolete, in my opinion.
Tag him.
From a Niners,
twice.
From a Niners,
twice.
I know you don't have to do it twice. I'm just saying they control that, so they can do it twice. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they control. They don't. Bro, if I tag Brock at $42 million, that's a steal. Because that's less than $45 million, which is what I'm trying to give him a year. Brock Purdy's agent doesn't want that. And I just think that'll cause some type of bad blood. You don't believe in that? I just feel like it's a bad vibe, man. Like, if you say you believe in me, then let's get a deal done. Because anything can happen. I do know under the tags that money is guaranteed, right? All of it.
Yes.
And then I think under this contract Brock has now, it's guaranteed as well. You know what I'm saying? So
Correct.
I don't think that you pay Brock $60 million, but I think the number is definitely higher than $50 million per year.
Okay. Should the Niners pay Brock Purdy the max?
At the 60, no. If Brock would have won the Super Bowl, I'll be all in on giving Brock Purdy the bag, bro. Like the max bag. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
You telling me if the defense came up with a pick, you would change your argument for whether or not Brock
For
should be paid
sure.
right now?
Absolutely.
If this thing don't focus,
Absolutely.
I find that hard to believe. What does the defense?
You don't find it hard to believe because although defense they do sustain and win the championships, it still comes down to the quarterback play. So at the end of the day, did Brock Purdy do what he needed to do to get his team in position to win the game? And if he would have did
with a lead,
if he would have did that and found a way to win the game, opposed to getting down there and not finding a way to win the game, whether you left the field with a lead, he still had an opportunity. And I don't care if my guy missed the block. There's so many factors in it. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. We lost.
what I'm saying is, okay, let me rephrase this. If the Niners' last offensive possession in the Super Bowl ended the same exact way, and the defense somehow got a turnover, and that game was over, would you be willing to pay Brock the $60 million he's asking for?
Yes.
So what difference does it make that the defense lets you down? That's what I don't get. Why are you saying that?
What you mean? Why am I saying that? Because he'll be a Super Bowl champion.
But the defense didn't get the turnover.
We just talked about guys
thing.
that are Super Bowl champions, and it gives them more money. That's just the way it is. It gets you into the Hall of Fame. It's going to get you paid more money. Josh Allen could have took more money. He chose not to take more money. He didn't even win a Super Bowl. He just decided Josh Allen literally could have been a $65 million per year guy. He chose not to be that easily. He could have made more money. He could have been the highest paid. That was a choice he made. Brock Purdy could make the same damn choice, Mike. I just feel like you said this is his first contract. Do you make those choices on your first contract? Football is not guaranteed. It's 100% injury prone, and you need to get the most money you can get.
If I'm Brock, I'm getting them from everything I can. I'm not taking no. Are you kidding me? Listen, Wayne, we've never seen Kyle Shanahan with a quarterback for 4 years. You know this is about to be the first time ever. In Kyle Shanahan's long-ass NFL career, he has never had a quarterback for 4 consecutive seasons. Do you know that?
I do know that. That's crazy.
And his quarterbacks get worse and worse every year.
It's like the offense doesn't evolve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, here's the caveat. We got about 20% of Kyle Shanahan's playbook that opened up now that they let go of Debo. Right? So now he gets to come up with a couple of more things here to see how he can kind of maybe reinvigorate the offense, put another spark there or something like that. But this is all unnew and uncharted territory for Kyle, for John, for Brock, everybody. If I'm Brock, I am not letting Kyle Shanahan's inexperience at this point in his career with a quarterback harbor me. I'm getting every dime that I can get. I could pick any side of this argument and go back and forth all day. This is crazy.
I mean, I just don't like, other than Brock locking up a bunch of money in the cap, I don't see why he's not worth $60 million. Like, I don't see why he's not. If the market is the market, what makes him not worth $60 million? Is it because he can't grip a ball in inclement weather? Is it?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know what makes him not $60 million.
Yeah,
like,
don't tell me that. Oh, I can be great as long as
but
I got
guys lose
the best supporting cast and the weather is perfect. And
so Josh Allen is great when he has a good
game.
supporting cast. Lamar Jackson is great when he has a good supporting cast. Like, these quarterbacks,
I've seen
are
both
great.
of those guys throw touchdowns in the snow.
Yeah, but to me that doesn't matter. Like they play in the snow. Like Brock doesn't. If Brock played in the snow, hold on, Mike. If Brock played in the snow, the more you play in the snow, the better you get in the snow. They play in the snow. We watched Josh Allen go from throwing 30 interceptions one year to getting better, bro. So it can happen in the snow, like literally. So I'm just saying, Brock doesn't play in the snow. He doesn't play in the snow. Now in the rain, I don't care about the snow. Snow doesn't bother me. It's the rain that bothers me. Like that to me is a more thing that I feel like you'll see quarterbacks have to play under, like, rain. So it just seems like the rain games, he has his worst games. But every quarterback has worse games. And if you have 2 games that are rain and they're your worst, and the rest of the games are great, fuck it. Like at the end of the day,
what if it rains 9 of the games?
It's not gonna rain 9 times. Like,
How do you know?
Because it doesn't do that, Mike. It's never done that.
All right.
They got the weather forecast for the next 100 years, bro. You chalk up your losses, bro. Now, what I have issues with Brock Purdy is the coverages and him not seeing these safeties that they've been hiding in disguise.
He was throwing at the linebackers. He looked just like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Nah, he was throwing at the
year.
safeties, bro. He was throwing
threw
at the
that joint
safeties.
right to the linebacker. I just watched the Lions game.
He was throwing at the safeties. It was a safety.
All right.
He struggles with the safety coverages. Jimmy struggled with linebackers. Brock struggles with safeties. Because they disguise it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if he's anticipating the ball to go to a place. At the end of the day, the Niners are going to have to figure out what they're going to do. Like, listen, every quarterback to me has deficiencies. The question is, which one you going to rock? Like, which ones can you overcome and which ones can't you overcome? Mm-hmm. So, every quarterback has deficiencies, bro. Let's not act like these guys are perfect out there on the football field. We watched Lamar Jackson turn the ball over in the same game. He threw those touchdowns in the championship game. I bet you he got paid. And I think Lamar Jackson is next. We saw where he was on that list.
I can argue either side of this. It depends on the mood that I'm in. I can honestly see a case for both sides wanting to do it and wanting to not do it. And that's my conundrum, right? Because I don't have anything against Brock, right? Brock hasn't done anything to make me say I really don't like him, right? He hasn't done anything for me to say he is the best and we can't let this guy out the building either.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm kind of stuck in the middle.
How do you replace him? I think that's the question, right?
But so that's the thing, right? If I have him as a middle tier player,
quarterback. Okay, that's
quarterback.
Fair.
If I have him as a middle tier quarterback, then why am I so afraid to try to replace him? Why am I so afraid to take that first round pick and put it into a Cam Ward? Why am I so afraid to take that first round pick, trade back, and maybe get somebody in the second or third round who I see a high upside, but maybe this guy's a little rough. You know what? Let's let Mac Jones come in here for about 6 or 7, 8 games, then see what that guy can do.
Because I still don't think you go with. Like, if you did move on from Brock, I'm not drafting Cam Ward.
That's cool. Don't. I'm not saying that you got to do it that.
No,
high.
I'm just saying like that you brought that up. So I'm like, I would go with the best player on the board at 3.
Yes.
If those 2 quarterbacks are going, now you get the edge rusher you want. You get the Abdul Carter, right? You could get a Travis Hunter. You could get these transcending types of players, generational players. And you build from there, right? That's what I would do with pick 3.
For sure, absolutely.
And you can still probably find another quarterback because I think you could probably win some games with Mac Jones. He's won some games in Jacksonville. I think the Niners are better than the Jaguars. That's just me personally. And Mike, you were right. It was definitely a linebacker from the Lions that he threw the interception to. Yeah, Brock throws. But his main thing is safeties. Like that, he's not seeing the big safety nickel type of guy at the last second, and they're picking him off. And when you play those big guys up front around the line of scrimmage, Brock struggles. And I don't know if that's because of his height. That could be because of his height. Like
I was just saying that to poke fun at Brock and draw the comparisons of how he
For
is
sure.
turning slowly into Jimmy Garoppolo, the same way Jimmy was way up here. When we first got Jimmy, everyone was like, oh, my God, he went 5-0. And you remember like when Jimmy hit the scene, we were like, yo, we got one.
Yeah.
We got one,
Yeah.
right? And then he got hurt early. And then he came back. We went to the Super Bowl. We was like, yo, he struggled a little bit, but we still got one. We went all the way to the Super Bowl with this dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's him. Fans wanted Jimmy for life.
I don't feel like he's turning into Jimmy Garoppolo, though.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was saying it to poke fun at him because the truth of the matter is one of my favorite things about Brock is how he absolutely avoids linebackers. He's got that perfect rainbow pass.
That's a
over
good
the middle of
point.
the field. I've never seen another quarterback do that shit so well.
What's
the way Brock
happening?
Purdy does
What's
it.
happening is the linebackers are playing deeper because they know there's a rainbow drop.
Yes,
and so
he
because
does that, though.
But you have to have those athletic linebackers to pick off Brock as a linebacker. Other than that, he's pretty much getting that ball over those linebackers' heads. They don't have the athleticism, but he has thrown interceptions. I wanted to correct myself. He does have interceptions thrown to linebackers. I'm not stupid. I just argue with Mike because that's what we do. So
That's what we do. Yeah. That's what the show is based off of. But look, like I said, man, I can make an argument either way. And the truth of the matter is, whatever the Niners decide to do, I'm going to have my show where I do a negative reaction. I'm going to have a show where I do a positive reaction.
Absolutely.
I feel both ways.
Absolutely.
I feel both ways. And it's not fake. I'm torn. I just don't like the idea that we like to sit here and say, we really can't move on from Brock. He's the best guy we've had. Let's be clear for a second here. He is the second quarterback that got a real opportunity in the system. And not for nothing, Kyle's 2 for 2 in getting those guys to Super Bowls.
and he's one that they drafted. Jimmy Garoppolo was one they traded for.
Right.
So I just wanted
Right.
to put that out there. And let me
But
just
only 2 of these guys have been given extended play.
for sure. And
Under
let
center.
me be clear. Like to me, like I remember going off saying that Jimmy was about to be it. Like I thought Jimmy was it, and then he got hurt. And then after he got hurt, I'm like, all right, he'll be able to bounce back. What turned me off from Jimmy Garoppolo was it 2020 with all the high ankle sprains? Was that the year we got all the high ankle sprains? What turned me against Jimmy was when he was cleared to play and he didn't go out on the football field. That's when I turned against Jimmy Garoppolo. So let me just keep it a buck. When you're a 49er, I support you. I rock with you. When you shit on this team, you're done to me. You're dead. Like like you can go. Bye. Peace. And then you started to see the feisty Jimmy Garoppolo, guy talking back, guy, calling the coach out, guy doing all that type of stuff because he knew his time was here was about to be done. You know what I'm saying? But I really did believe that Jimmy was going to be a guy that was going to be able to come in here and compete. They had to start building the offense around him. He was the reason why we were the Yak Kings. Jimmy couldn't throw a ball past 20 yards to save his life.
We feel the same way about Brock right now.
I think we don't, because we know with Brock, he gives the ability to be an escape artist back there. He can move. He hasn't torn an ACL. He doesn't have that mental aptitude that's going to, bar him and keep him barred down, which Jimmy was scared to move in that pocket. Jimmy didn't move in the pocket, Mike, until the year he came in for Trey Lance. That's when we started seeing him move again, and he ended up getting hurt. Like, no lie, no cap. He ended up getting hurt. But I think the difference between the two, the reason why I say we're not seeing the same, even though they both went to a Super Bowl, even though they both lost the Super Bowl, is, to me, like the mental, cognitive ability to play football. And I just think Brock has the processing and Jimmy didn't. Like, that's what I think. Brock can get the ball out quick. We've seen him do it. And then Brock can throw that ball down the field. We've seen him do it. Now, his arm might not be the strongest.
Right. No, it's serviceable, though, because we're not throwing 70-yard passes.
Thank
every
you.
Game anyway.
Thank you.
Out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take your 40-yard shot accurately every game, and, you good. You good. People will respect the deep ball.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. But, to be fair, I think the Niners are going to pay Brock. I don't know what that number is. I don't want to trade Brock. So let me just end the show. I don't want to move on from Brock. But if there's a team, Mike, that makes the 49ers an offer that they can't refuse, that Brock is good as gone on the midnight train to Georgia.
Cleveland or New York. Absolutely. Oh, boy, he is gone. He is gone. I'll pack the bags for him. I'm telling you, he out of here. Go.
Baby girl. All right, NSYNC. He's good as gone. Like, let's just keep it a buck. All right?
Yes, sir.
And I think everybody can understand that you're flipping a 7, the last pick too, to a first. What was Brock? 252? I'm making up numbers. I just know it was high, right?
It was I just watched his draft joint the other day. It wasn't 252 though. Hold on.
But imagine going from 2 something to 3. That's the ultimate flip, bro. Right?
262.
It's even worse. 62 to
Or
3.
better, depending on how you look at it.
Better, right?
Yeah. That's a crazy flip.
That's
a crazy flip.
Ultimate flip. Ultimate flip, bro. And the way, can we be fair? The way this offseason has been, it don't really sound like they tied to anybody. Unless your name is Nick Bosa and Trent Williams. I feel like them the only 2 people they care about. And Fred Warner. I think them 3 are safe. Maybe Demo.
He got the money already. He got the guarantee.
Right. He got the guarantees. I don't know, man. This is going to be interesting, guys. So listen, this is a show where we kind of go back and forth. We listen to each other takes. But it's not the end all be all. I don't know how Mike feel, but I don't want to trade from Brock Purdy. I said to Mike we could win the next 4 years. I just don't know what the Niners want to pay, and we don't even know what Brock Purdy's asking for. All we could do is speculate from the stuff that's been given to us. So I hope you guys can open your minds to the things that we're hearing. We're just talking about the stuff that we hear at the end of the day. Mike, great job as always, man. I can't wait to chop it up with you on No Harm, No Foul this week and see where your mind takes us.
Back
But
tomorrow, baby.
yeah, I can't wait to see where your mind takes us, man. But Brock Purdy, to me, your mic you clapped and it just fucked up everything. Like you just fucked up all the audio on the show. Like we got through the whole show, and now your mic got the crickly sizzle going. I can
still
hear,
doing it?
I can hear the hiss now. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did. There it is.
I used the wrong wire. I got 2 wires that look exactly the same.
I'm gonna need you to use the right wire on my show, right? Like, so make sure you put a tape around it.
I gotta mark it, yeah.
Right wire, right? No, I'm just messing with you. But listen, man, if Brock gets paid, whatever he gets paid, whatever he agrees to, great for the Niners. They can win with him. Any final thoughts, Mike, before you send us home?
No, man, I'm out of here, man. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
That's what he said. Yeah.
That's it, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. We'll see y'all tomorrow on the No Harm, No Foul show. In the meantime, we are live all the time, kicking it with the fam, bro. There's Breezy. I'm Mike. This is The BAM Show.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.